Mets great Mike Piazza finally makes it into the Hall of Fame. Took 4 tries, but Piazza will join Tom Seaver and Cooperstown as the only inductees wearing a New York Mets cap.
And both the Jets and the Giants missed the playoffs for the 3rd consecutive time, but this time it cost Tom Coughlin his job.
But the rest of the NFL is getting ready for the wild card weekend. We'll preview all the games and talk to Mark Hogan, Joe Patania, and Trey Looney about what to expect.
Best hour of your sports week is coming up on Glory Days right now.
Inravio.com.
Everybody, today is Saturday, January 9th, 2016, and you are watching The Glory Days Show with Bruce and Disco. My name is Paul Discofani. This is my good friend, Bruce Oler. Eric Mikhailov and Bonnie Schultz are behind the glass today, and you are joining us as we begin our 5th year.
5 years, wow.
On the Inravio TV network, where we broadcast live from Studio C in the great state of New York. Yeah, 5 years.
Wow, that's a long time, man. Who would have thunk it?
When we began was the last time the Jets made the playoffs.
Yeah, it does seem like a lifetime ago. It really does. You know?
And remember when they made the playoffs, it was like the 2nd consecutive time they were going to the AFC Championship game.
Yep.
And we thought they were going to finally
Rex
break
Ryan
through.
was the new messiah, you know?
And Rex Ryan is still preventing the Jets from making the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we haven't met. I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks, man. You know?
No, it's been fun. You know,
you miss me?
I miss you.
Okay. I miss you too, my friend.
Well, you know, a lot has happened. This was a big week here.
Well, a big few weeks, to tell you the truth, you know?
We had, of course, obviously, we want to talk a little bit about Mike Piazza and Ken Griffey getting into the Hall of Fame.
Congratulations to both of them. And Ken Griffey broke the record for the most votes, huh?
Right. Well, the highest percentage.
Highest percentage of votes, okay.
Right. He had a percentage of something like
99 point something, and that beat the previous record holder was
Tom Seaver.
The franchise, Tom Seaver, 98 point something.
And one of the interesting things about this Hall of Fame, these 2 guys that got in, Ken Griffey Jr. was the first #1 overall pick to ever make it into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
The first #1. And Mike Piazza, who was picked 1,390th.
Yeah, he was like the 60-something round, right?
62nd round, only because Tommy Lasorda was a friend of his father.
Yeah.
And so I guess, would he be considered the highest or the lowest draft pick?
Lowest, I guess.
Right, so he's the lowest draft pick ever.
How low can you go?
Well, I don't know, 1,390 players, 89 players selected
and
ahead.
that's a great story. I mean, just goes to show you, if you persevere, anything can happen. Obviously he had a good work ethic, and probably got a little lucky along the way. Like you say, the fact that Lasorda probably was working for the Dodgers, decided to draft him. And, I guess he could have gone in with either team, really. I mean, he had played about 7 years with the Dodgers, too, and he had a pretty good career with them. Remember, I was very excited when the Mets got him from, and they didn't get him from the Dodgers, because actually he kind of spent like a few weeks playing for the Miami Marlins.
He spent 8 days with the Marlins.
I guess the Florida Marlins was back then,
He got traded to the Florida Marlins because he was going to be a free agent.
Okay.
And they were afraid they weren't going to be able to sign him.
And if I recall, one of the Mets that we gave up was Preston Wilson. Mookie Wilson's stepson, I think.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think he was a natural son. I think he was a stepson.
Yeah. And when he came here, we had talked about it earlier in the year. When he came here, I kind of thought about it the same way Cespedes when he came here. He was a guy who really changed the team
Yeah.
when he got here.
He didn't come in. He didn't come at the trade deadline, though. I think he came in May or something.
Yeah, it was
like that, if I
early.
recall, you know?
But my concern was, my thought process was that these were both guys who were free agents. And when they got here, it was not a done deal that they were going to stay.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that changed Piazza's mind, and this is some of the things that he talked about after getting elected.
And
he
deciding
said
to
that-
go in as a Met,
Right.
too.
He said the fans, he became a part of the family, he felt.
He said they embraced him.
They embraced him. And the same way we kind of embraced Cespedes. He could
Yeah.
really do no wrong in our eyes. And I thought that that would go a long way towards him considering signing here. But you know what?
He couldn't do any wrong until the World Series, man. Then he couldn't do anything right, you know.
But you know what? If the Mike Piazza thing happened this summer,
Yeah.
with this Mets regime who really doesn't believe in a long-term contract, I don't think Piazza would be here.
You're probably right.
You know, the Mets, according to what Sandy Alderson was talking about, the Mets just really aren't interested in committing that many
Yeah.
years. It's
So
not
when
the
does-
dollars, it's
when
the
does the
years.
induction take place?
It's at end of July. July,
Okay.
I believe, the 24th, that weekend.
I remember reading something, and unfortunately, I don't remember exactly what it was, but there was something interesting the Mets were going to do when the Dodgers are in town. I don't think it
They're
had
doing
anything to do with Piazza.
they're celebrating the 30th anniversary of the 1986 World Series team that weekend.
Okay.
And they're going to have a lot of ceremonies, and they've put out an invite to every player and coach to see. I like to see.
We should try to get tickets for that one.
I'd like to see if Len Dykstra comes back. Maybe Len Dykstra
maybe we
would
can
come
even
on
interview
this
him,
program,
you know?
right? And then they're doing a special promotion on the Sunday of Memorial Day weekend, and they're giving away replica '86 championship rings.
Oh, yeah? What are they made out of?
Probably tinfoil. Well, so let's talk about Piazza and the Hall of Fame.
Go ahead.
We've got a graphic out there for Mike Piazza that shows some of his stats, so to speak.
I know he
and
had
again,
427 home runs, I think it was, 396 as a catcher.
And again, you know, I know that the Hall of Fame has got nothing. Not that it's got nothing to do with stats. Stats don't automatically get you into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
If they did, Dave Kingman would be in the Hall of Fame. Okay. But one of the things that Piazza has always done, and it's the same thing with Griffey, is they have a respect for the game and the history of the game, and they promote the future of the game, and that's what you want in your Hall of Famer.
All the things I read about Piazza, you know, and obviously he had a great career with the Mets. But the one thing that they always bring up is the home run he hit against the Atlanta Braves the day that baseball came back after 9/11 back in 2001, I guess, when it was, right?
Up until that point of the game, I don't think anybody really knew what to do. They didn't know if we should be cheering. They didn't know. Everybody was still kind of. Then he hit that home run, and in my opinion, it changed everything.
Yeah.
It changed everything. I know it's a sporting event. I understand that. It's just a sporting event.
Yeah.
And, you know, all those people that got murdered that day and everything that happened, I understand that was so insignificant.
Yeah.
But you know what? To the city, I think it brought everybody back, and we were allowed to cheer again, and we were allowed to be excited again, and I think that made a difference.
It did. And then I'm not sure, you know, it was later that month is when George Bush showed up and threw the opening pitch
Of the World Series.
Of the World Series,
right?
that's
Remember?
right. You know.
He threw a perfect strike.
Right.
It was one of the greatest ceremonial first pitches ever.
And the thing I'll always remember is that he said he was talking to Derek Jeter afterwards. He said, "You got any tips for me?" And he says, "Just don't bounce it. It's New York," is what he told him. You know, so and he threw a perfect strike, like you said. You know.
You know, and you know what? I really wonder if that home run, if it had been hit by anybody else, would have been as significant. That guy Mike Piazza, man, he knew he could do it when you needed to get it done. He was never the guy that could always hit the home run when you're ahead 8-1 and make it 10-1. He was never that guy.
Yeah.
He was that guy.
Well, he was a clutch player, no doubt about it.
They said he hit more than half of his home runs to the opposite field.
I believe that's kind of like David Wright. David Wright's got that kind of power to right center, you know. But he's only the second Met, a second player. I mean, the Mets have had other players that, but they played with them, but they never went in as a Met. So this is the second time that we have a player with the Mets hat on what'll be in the plaque, you know. So I was checking it out. It's not that big surprise, what team has the most Hall of Famers. And it's always the evil empire, the New York Yankees, with 22. But this I found kind of interesting. The Giants are second, the New York Giants, with 18.
Wow.
But then if you add the 5 San Francisco Giants, they got 23.
Nice.
Yeah. And then third is St. Louis. I thought St. Louis would have been second. So the surprise for me was that the New York Giants had so many players there. Cubs had 13, and then Brooklyn Dodgers had a bunch. Let me see. I think they had about 9, and I think LA has another 5 or something like that.
Well, it's a solemn thing. I was talking about it, that when you go to the Hall of Fame, and if you've never been to the Hall of Fame, you got to go to the Hall of Fame. It's a great thing. But I haven't been there in 12, 13 years.
Yeah.
When James was a teenager, we went. And you walk into the thing, and it's this little raucous place, and everybody's having a good time and laughing, and there's a lot of background noise, and there's a lot of things going on. And before you know it, you're embroiled in it, and you're talking, you're loud, you're laughing, they're showing you things, you're going through all the exhibits. Then you get to the hall.
Yeah.
They call it the Great Hall. And that's where all the busts are. And quiet.
It's like a library.
Yeah.
It's like a library.
It's quiet.
Yeah.
People are whispering and talking, and grown men are weeping.
So
it's a wonderful thing.
It is. And I thought it was interesting, Ken Griffey Jr., who's the other inductee, and as we said, he was the highest percentage of all time. He's never been to the Hall of Fame. Yeah. And he said, I only want to go in there when I'm a member, is what he said. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
He said that he was at he did that exhibition game when the base boys used to do an exhibition game.
Yeah.
And he says, I was at the game, he said, but I didn't want to go in the Hall of Fame because he says, I'm very superstitious. Mike Piazza, when he was a rookie, he played in that game. And he said, I had to go in. He said, because I knew that's the only way I would ever get there.
Good for him. Well, congratulations to Mike Piazza and Ken Griffey Jr. We're going to take a break here. When we come back, we'll start talking about Wild Card Weekend here, right? We'll have Pittsburghian?
Pittsburghian, I don't know.
Mark
Is that what you call people
talk about
from
the
Pittsburgh?
Steelers heading into Cincinnati to face their division rivals in one of the AFC wildcard games being played later today. Then Trey Looney will join us talking about the Texans in their wildcard game against the Kansas City Chiefs. Stay with us. Stay in with Glory Days, Bruce and Disco, only on Radio TV Network. Coming right back.
everybody, this is Kyle.
I'm Frankie.
And we here at Inravio TV Network are wishing you and yours a very happy holiday season.
For over 60 years, Hansen Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hansen Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansenCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hansen Carpet has got you covered. Village Music Shop in Mastic has everything you need to give the gift of music this holiday season. Electric guitar packages with a guitar, amp, bag, and strap for only $129. Acoustic guitar packages as low as $79. Full-size 5-piece drum set package starting at $299. And all holiday packages come with 2 free private lessons. Gift cards available. Village Music Shop of Mastic. The best prices and personalized service for over 45 years. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE and visit villagemusicshop.com. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there. And we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Days show here with Bruce and Disco on the Inravio TV network. On our phone is a man who grew up in Steubenville, Ohio, but is a huge Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He's a litigation attorney who graduated from Ohio State, and also a writer and administrator for the National League Central Discussion Baseball Group. Please welcome back to the program, Mark Hogan. Mark, you there?
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Mark, how's it going? Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year, you guys.
So what happened? How did Pittsburgh give the wild card away to the Jets and
then get
then
it back?
take it away?
Well, you know, I had the Jets and Bills game on, and I watched the end of that, and we're very lucky to get in. There was a play there towards the end where Fitzpatrick dropped back and he unloaded one 40 yards to Tompkins. Man, it just went right through his hands.
Yeah.
If he catches that, you guys are in, and I'm not talking to you today.
Now, we would have still talked to you because we would have wanted to gloat.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Let's talk about Pittsburgh first. You know, they really are really. I'm not too sure about them, especially in this game against Cincinnati. Although, if there was any team you wanted to play in the playoffs, it's probably Cincinnati.
0-6.
Well-
0-6 in the playoffs, Cincinnati.
That's true, and look, I think it's going to be a pretty equal game, all in all. They split the regular season. I think there's a little bit of an advantage because the game's in Cincinnati, but of course they're playing without Dalton.
Mm-hmm.
We're playing without a running back, but I'm anticipating it to be a really good game.
You know, they especially without, although Roethlisberger is the man when it comes to playoff games.
Yeah, Ben's been pretty good, although the last 3 games have not been his best. He's thrown 2 interceptions the last 3 games. So the key to the game is Ben. We are only as good as Ben is.
I mean, you know, I always liked him as a quarterback. He used to be my fantasy
Right,
football
right.
quarterback.
Yep, I know.
I only liked him. But, you know, the thing is with Cincinnati, it doesn't matter whether they're at home, doesn't matter if they're on the road. They just can't seem to play well in the playoffs. And I don't know what that is or why that is.
I think they're lucky that Andy Dalton isn't playing, to tell you the truth. You know, he doesn't have.
That's right.
He doesn't have a very good record in the playoffs.
I don't think
either,
Andy
you know?
Dalton's ever won a playoff
I don't
game.
think he has.
I think Marvin Lewis is 0-6 in playoffs.
He is. Marvin Lewis is.
Oh, really?
0-6.
Okay. Okay. You know, the thing is with Pittsburgh, their offense turned out to be very good this year. You know, it's their highest, the first time they've been a top 5 offense since like 1979. You know, but they haven't played well on the road the whole year. They're 4-4 on the road. And their defense, just, you know, you think of defense, you think of the steel curtain, and you think and their defense just isn't that good.
Well,
I would agree with that. The defense is definitely going to have to step it up if we're going to have any chance against Cincinnati. And look, gentlemen, to be quite honest, this is a totally different way of playing football than than we Pittsburgh Steelers fans have known.
Right.
Ben's just dropping back and just unleashing bombs down the field. We're used to Bettis ball and 3 yards in a cloud of dust type of
True.
football, but it seemed to work. It got us, it definitely got us into the playoffs. We'll see how far it takes us.
Well, up until about 3 weeks ago, I really thought that Pittsburgh is one of I guess the parallel would be the Seattle Seahawks, who were just playing great football. They weren't going to win a division. They were going to maybe get in as a wild card.
Right.
They were in, they were out, they were in, and then they were out when the Jets beat New England, and then they come back and they got in. I still think they're the team to beat. Well, I think they're going to beat Cincinnati. I really do. I just don't think Cincinnati is that good. Granted, they're at home.
You got to remember, they also, I know they had Andy Dalton, but they started out 8-0.
Yeah.
Cincinnati, And, so far this year, if they score more than 20 points, they're 11-1 when they score more than 20 points. That's pretty good.
As you said, it's down to the defense. The Pittsburgh defense has got to step up here a little bit.
But really,
I think the Steelers will put some points on the board for sure.
1990
Yeah.
was the last time Cincinnati won a playoff game.
Wow. It's a long time, man. Was Boomer Esiason the quarterback then or what?
I don't know.
Yeah, he
That's
might
a good
have
start. That's a good question. These two teams played in the playoffs. The last time they played was in 2005.
Okay.
And Pittsburgh was the road team. They were the wild card team that year.
2005. It's 11 years ago, man.
Yeah. But the Steelers used that game as a platform to win 3 road games and go to the Super Bowl. So Mark, what are they going to need to do today? I mean, is it just as simple as messing with A.J. McCarron?
Well, I think there's an interesting stat. Cincinnati is 8-1 when they win the turnover differential, and the Steelers are 9-1 when they win. So I think it's going to come down to whatever team commits the least amount of turnovers. I think that'll have a great impact on the game. And I think, whoever has the better defense, and I agree, I think the Steelers' defense is definitely going to have to get after McCarron. He's playing a little bit conservative. You don't see him doing too much to sort of upset the apple cart. So if we can sort of get in his head and maybe, pick him off and sack him a few times, get him a little ruffled up, I think we'll have a good chance.
Well, if you talk about turnovers, okay, if you don't have a running game, or you have these two guys, Fitzgerald Toussaint, is that how you pronounce it, I guess? And who's our other guy? I can't think of the guy's name. At any rate, these guys, you have to worry about them being able to hold on to the ball. And if you don't have a running game, that means you got to throw the ball.
What's the weather going to be like there?
Good question. You have any idea, Mark?
I think I'm in Columbus, so
Yeah, it's got to be pretty. Yeah.
They're calling for rain, and I don't think it's going to be too cold, but the conditions will probably be a little slippery.
Rain, yeah, okay. Well, like you say, it's going to be a turnover game. Then that's what it's going to be, And I just like Pittsburgh, and it's probably because of Cincinnati having such a bad record in the last few years, and the fact that A.J. McCarron is starting for him. We'll see.
So, who do you think is going to win this game? Or is that a stupid question?
I have the Steelers 24-20.
24-20, okay. What do you think, Disco?
Well, I'm going to have to go the opposite way. I'm going to go with Cincinnati.
Okay.
I like the Bengals in this game. I like them to finally break the streak. I think that they pick off Ben twice, and I just think their defense is better than Pittsburgh's. And in a playoff game, I think defense wins playoff games.
Well, we shall see. That's 8:15 tonight on CBS. So
Yep.
I'll be parked in front of the TV watching that one for sure.
Hey, Mark, we're out of time, but I know you wanted to talk a little bit about the Hall of Fame, but we're looking to put together a Hall of Fame show in about 2 weeks. Would you be available for that?
Sure.
Okay, man. Hey, thanks for taking the time with us.
No
Go
problem.
Steelers.
Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Go
All right.
Steelers.
Good luck with the
Go
Steelers.
Steelers.
All right. Bye-bye.
All right, we're going to take another break here on Glory Days. When we get back, we'll have on the always entertaining Trey Looney as he talks about his Houston Texans and their wild card game this afternoon against Kansas City Chiefs. Later on, we'll hear from our good buddy from Milwaukee, Joe Battaglia, and talk about the NFC wild card game, and maybe we'll sneak in a little more Hall of Fame talk. All right, stay with us. You're watching The Glory Days Show with Bruce Disco, only on the Inravio TV network. Coming right back.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
This is Joe Larson, host of the 505 on Racing Show here at Inravio.com. From my family to your family, happy holidays to you and yours this holiday season.
For over 60 years, Hansen Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hansen Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansenCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hansen Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Village Music Shop in Mastic has everything you need to give the gift of music this holiday season. Electric guitar packages with a guitar, amp, bag, and strap for only $129. Acoustic guitar packages as low as $79. Full-size 5-piece drum set package starting at $299. And all holiday packages come with 2 free private lessons. Gift cards available. Village Music Shop of Mastic. The best prices and personalized service for over 45 years. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE and visit villagemusicshop.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Days Show here on the Inravio TV network. Our next guest is a frequent contributor to this program and is having some kind of a sports year.
Like we are in New York, too.
Like in
well,
New
we
York,
were in New
exactly.
York.
Well, his Houston Astros made the baseball postseason, and now his Houston Texans get a chance to be on the national stage. Women want to date him, and men want to watch a football game with him. Please welcome the Glory Days live via Skype, our good pal Trey Looney. Trey, how are you? Are you hearing him? I'm not hearing him. Are you hearing him?
I'm not hearing him.
All right, I don't hear you, man. Are you guys hearing him in the booth?
Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yeah,
now
there
I
we
can
go.
hear you.
There we go.
There we go.
How are you, man?
Doing well. How are y'all doing?
Good, thanks.
All right, you got to be excited.
Yes, very excited. It's been a few years since the Texans have been in the playoffs. We do have a home game. I think in large part this is also a little bit payback to KC for knocking us out of the baseball playoffs. So I know that has been mentioned actually by a few of the team members that that there is some payback here, and also too for the first game of the season where KC was able to take care of us pretty handily.
Yeah, that was well. KC was 1-5 at one time, right?
Yeah, 1-5.
Yes.
They won 10 games in a row.
Yeah, they've really turned their season around. I think it's really a testament to Andy Reid. He is probably one of the best coaches in the National Football League. I think too, Philadelphia is kind of looking back and saying, why do we get rid of this guy?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And certainly too, this is also why you're seeing teams like Indianapolis sign Pagano, who has a questionable track record, because they don't want to get into this coaching carousel where they have no consistency. And Reed brought that the second half of the season, and that's why they're really playing well. So.
Well, I think I know why Houston made the playoffs this year. It's because they were on Hard Knocks this year.
Well, I think that was a distraction, honestly. I mean, I think that they got caught up in some of that hype, and I think that they started flat. And it wasn't until mid-season, similar to Kansas City, that they really got their stuff together.
Right.
So I enjoyed the Hard Knocks series. I thought it was a lot of fun. I mean, you got to see guys like Charles James, who was a really great guy, and you got to get some insight with the team and Bill O'Brien too. But it's a distraction. There is no doubt in my mind that it is a distraction.
So let's talk about this game. How great is J.J. Watt?
Well,
you get to see him every time.
I do. I watch all the games, and I've been to a few of the games this season too. J.J. Watt, we are literally witnessing history. He is this era's Lawrence Taylor. You're not going to see somebody that has the desire to excel like he does. The things that he does are pretty much amazing, and it's not just on the plays that we see in the highlights. It's the little stuff. It's crashing the end so the guy can spin around and stop the run. It's all the little subtleties, and he really works on that. And sure, he gambles at times, and I think you'll see Kansas City probably try to take advantage of his upfield rush a few times with some draws and some isolation plays to his side. But certainly, I think he is probably going to go down as one of the best of all time.
17.5 sacks this year.
Yeah,
17.5 sacks.
He's a dominating player for sure.
He's the only player since, I think, Reggie White to have more than 15 sacks in 3 straight years.
Well, we know the defense is going to be there. I guess the question is really the offense, and I guess they've had kind of a revolving door with quarterback this year. I guess Hoyer's the quarterback tomorrow, or today, I guess. That's a 4:35 game.
It's the first game.
Yep.
Well, I went out and tried out, but I didn't make it.
You did, okay.
Hey, you know what? They said that they're the first team since 1950 to make the playoffs and have 4 different quarterbacks win a game.
Wow.
Yes, which is amazing.
There are teams that didn't win 4 games.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The other thing is, the thing that might be if you're looking for a hook here.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, Kansas City hasn't won a playoff game in 22 years. Okay, and you know the last playoff game they won?
Yes, I do.
They won
I'm very
with
familiar
Joe
with that game.
Montana.
Oh, Joe Montana, wow.
Against the Houston Oilers.
Houston Oilers. Yeah.
So the
Yeah,
last
Astronauts.
team they beat in the playoffs was a Houston team,
Yep.
and they beat them with a former San Francisco quarterback, which Alex Smith happens to be.
Wow. Wow.
These are the type of things that we like to talk about here. They're completely ridiculous.
It is, and I remember that game. Montana had him driving late, and he threw a rifle pass for Montana to the flat, and he was able to get to the corner or the pylon before the defender. That was probably one of the best Houston Oilers defensive teams that they ever had with Buddy Ryan. And that was, again, a season that was turned around because they started off 1-4 and everybody was shoveling dirt on and then I think they won something like 12 in a row. So
So it would be kind of silly to ask you who you think is going to win. So tell me what Kansas City would need to do to beat Houston today. What is or what does Houston have to do to lose the game? What's
Sure. Kansas City's focus has got to be on running the ball, and I know that that's the cliche that everybody hears, but even if they're only getting 2 and 3 yards, if they're able to set up their play action pass game, and they like to do that a lot in the red zone too. I wouldn't be surprised to see them try and pull that a few times. And our safety play has been pretty good. The kid Hal came in and had a great interception last week. But he is prone to jump, some of the run plays a little quickly. So, but it is going to be a defensive struggle. I think Kansas City is also going to look to tee off on Hoyer and put him in some uncomfortable downs and distances. I think if they are able to do that, and certainly too with the field position battle, our special teams have been good at times and have been poor at times. We definitely need a good special teams day, and because it's quite likely this is a 9-6 or 10-7 type football game when it's all said and done. I definitely would recommend the under 40 points if that was your.
I don't think
your stick, so.
I don't see Kansas City. I don't see Kansas City being able to put it. They're not an offensive juggernaut. And the other thing I don't like, I never thought was good, is I know you want to be hot going into the playoffs, but you don't want to win 10 games in a row.
Not that hot, huh?
No, that's too hot. That's like winning 25 games or
Well,
30
I
games
tell
in a
ya,
row in baseball.
I'm going
You're
for
gonna
Kansas City,
lose.
though. I am going for Kansas City, and I don't know
Really?
why. It's more of a gut feeling than anything else, and it's not any disrespect to you there.
Well, I had both of these quarterbacks on my fantasy roster this year, both Hoyer and Alex Smith. And
You
my
finished last,
fantasy
by the way.
team sucked all year. It was terrible.
Well, it goes to show you it's going to be a low-scoring game, as Trey said, I think. Is weather going to affect this game at all? What's the weather going to be like?
No. We got a retractable roof. It'll be closed,
Gotcha.
and it'll be loud. It's going to be very loud. It will rival some of the stadiums that break these records. Kansas City and Seattle.
and you know what? The Houston Texans have never lost a home playoff game.
Really?
They've never. They've won both of them. I mean,
We
not a
haven't
big.
been in a whole lot, but
Yeah.
still, we haven't lost.
But still, the fact that you guys have been the division winners like 3 of the last 5 years or something,
Yes, and yes, we've had a 2-year hiatus. We had a 2-14 season, and then the 9-7 last year, which didn't make us the playoffs. It made it this year because of the AFC South being, I guess, kind of tanking. But Kansas City hasn't beaten a whole lot of
No.
top-notch teams either. So this is going to be a good game. And for a score prediction, I'm going to go 13-10 Texans. So.
All right.
All righty. Okay, Trey.
That's
Thanks for taking the time. We
that's
appreciate
a
it.
4:35 game.
And we never mentioned how Bagwell got jacked here in the voting. He should have made it.
He should have made it this year, without a doubt.
I think he'll be on the ballot. Well, he'll be in a ballot next year, obviously. I think
But he's
he'll get
getting in next year.
We'll
Who are they
see.
going to put in? Jorge Posada next year?
All right, Trey. Great talking to you.
Hey, always great to talk to
Yep.
y'all. Y'all are great. Certainly, a Happy New Year, and I'll look forward to hearing from you soon. Okay.
All right, Trey.
Sounds
Enjoy
good.
the game today.
All right.
All right. Go
Maybe
Texans.
we'll see you next week.
Yeah, you got it.
There you go.
Back on.
All right.
All right.
All right, Trey. Thanks.
You're welcome.
That's
Bye.
our good buddy Trey Looney. All right, you know what? I think we're going to take another quick break.
Sounds good.
When we get back, we'll continue our discussion, and we'll have our good buddy Joe Batagna come in next week. No relation to Joe Montana. Right after this.
And he'll talk about the NFC playoffs. Yeah. We'll be right back.
For over over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered. The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com. Village Music Shop in Mastic has everything you need to give the gift of music this holiday season. Electric guitar packages with a guitar, amp, bag, and strap for only $129. Acoustic guitar packages as low as $79. Full-size 5-piece drum set package starting at $299. And all holiday packages come with 2 free private lessons. Gift cards available. Village Music Shop of Mastic. The best prices and personalized service for over 45 years. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE and visit villagemusicshop.com.
Hey, this is Chris Les Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Welcome back to the Glory Days show here with Bruce and Disco on the Inravio TV network. Both of the NFC wildcard games are scheduled for Sunday, and our next guest is here to talk about both of them with us. He's a frequent contributor to this program, but he also loves football. Please welcome the most traveled man we know, Road Warrior Joe Battaglia. How are you, Joe?
Very good, guys. How you doing?
Good. You calling from Wisconsin today, or you're calling from someplace else?
I am calling from Wisconsin, from home.
Okay, great, great. I remember we talked to you a few weeks ago, and there was no snow on the ground. Is that still the case in Wisconsin, or has it changed since then?
No, we got snow, and we're going to get a little more today, but we're also going to be getting very, very, very cold, which is not going to affect our game because it's not here.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to affect the other NFC playoff game a lot because we do snow and cold well. Our friends in Minnesota do cold and snow even better than we do.
Well, they, this is their last year. I think they've been playing at the University of Minnesota or something, or.
Yes. Yeah.
And then they'll be moving into their climate-controlled stadium next year, but it's supposed to be very cold in Minnesota.
Very, very cold.
They
They
said
said one of
about
the top
minus
5.
10 wind chill, I think is what they're saying.
I love that. I would hate to be at the game. I'd be selling my tickets if it were me, but I love to watch that
And
game.
I thought I read that Bud Grant is going to be there, but the legendary coach, former coach for the Vikings, he'll be there, but he'll be in a luxury box, I think, and I don't think he'll be braving the elements there.
I thought he was in a regular box. I thought he was dead.
Wow.
A pine box.
A pine box. No, really, he's got to be what? He's got to be in his 80s by now,
Yeah, I'm
right?
sure he is. I'm sure he is.
Oh, sure, because he was coaching back when I was,
A pup.
high school age. Yeah, I mean, it was
Before you were a road
long
warrior.
time ago.
So let's talk about the Packers. Now,
Okay.
what happened? They lost 6 of their last 10 games.
Yeah, there's a lot of things going on. Some of them are obvious, and there's also some scuttlebutt going around the title town, which you have to take these things with not a grain of salt, probably a pound bag of salt, but about some issues between quarterback and coach, and just some division about the way plays are being called, and you don't obviously know if that's true, but the folks I've heard it from have normally been fairly reliable, and it kind of fits where the team has just not clicked. I mean, a lot of the same personnel. Granted, we're missing Jordy Nelson on the at wide receiver, and I think that's cascaded down. But there seems to be more than that. So I don't know, but it certainly is not. It's not the Packer team that was playing the first part of the season, and certainly not the Packer team that we expected to see before the season started.
Listen, if he really, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't want to play in Green Bay anymore, we could use a quarterback here.
Oh yeah.
The thing is, and I'm sure that my cohort here could tell you more than anything else, that Rodgers definitely towards the end of the year he declined. I mean, it was Bruce's fantasy football quarterback, and what did he get? One touchdown for you during the playoffs?
Yeah, he killed me. He killed me. And of course, I mean, they had that one great comeback game against Detroit where he threw that last second.
Yes.
But that's the only great thing I think he's done. And I agree that they're missing Jordy Nelson. I mean, but they missed him the whole year. I think the offensive line has really been a problem for them this year. And the other thing you said was about the play calling, and I thought that Mike McCarthy took back the play calling about 5 or 6 weeks ago or something like that, right?
He did.
Because it really wasn't
clicking,
clicking.
and it really hasn't seemed to make much of a difference.
Yeah.
There's a few times where you can definitely see Aaron staring daggers over at the sideline over the rumor that I've been hearing, and again, please remember it's a rumor, unfounded, but is that there's some bad blood between him and McCarthy, and that he's just basically doing exactly what he's being told to do, even though maybe there are better things out there to be done.
Mm-mm. You don't think that? So you think he's purposely not checking off and changing a play?
Again, I hate. I don't want to be a rumor monger. I'm just sharing this information that I've heard from someone who's pretty well connected with some people in the organization.
Okay, so just remember that Joe Botagna says
he knows a guy.
He knows a guy who knows a guy.
Forget about it.
Take this with not a grain, but a pound bag of salt. But it sort of fits that there's something not clicking there with the team. Definitely losing Jordy Nelson is huge for this team, because moving the other receivers up a spot just doesn't work. We don't have the big physical, fast receiver who runs great patterns and who can take the top off a defense, which makes it a lot easier for the defense to focus on the rest of our receivers, on Cobb, etc. And they're just not. They can't perform at those levels, and so they're not getting open. You see it that Aaron's looking for, and there's nobody.
Now Washington has kind of been the joke of the playoffs. The fact that they even got there, everyone was talking about how there was a very good chance that whatever team came out of the NFC East might even be under 500.
Yeah.
But really they've put things together. Washington. I mean, you were talking, Bruce, about the offensive line, about how Rodgers has been sacked 13 times in the last 2 games. And Washington has picked that up.
Yeah.
Washington has 14 sacks in their last couple of games.
Right.
And the Green Bay offense has sunk to, just, I think, 23rd in the league.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very, very, I think I said very, very poor. And considering where they started out, I mean, that's a huge amount of regression.
And again, like Bruce was saying, one of the wins that they had was that last second win. Where would they be without that? They may not even be a playoff team.
That's exactly right. And you think about it, that was honestly a mistake by Detroit in terms of the way that they defense that play, and a lot of luck. You know, how often do you see a Hail Mary like that work? Very, very seldom.
Yeah.
That's why it's a Hail Mary. They don't usually work.
So let's cut to the
I've said a
chase
bunch
here.
of them.
Let's cut to the chase here. Is Green Bay one and done here, or are they going to, you know, with their playoff pedigree, be able to prevail against Washington? What do you think?
I mean, I think Green Bay definitely can win. David Bakhtiari, our left tackle, is supposedly going to practice today and may start, and that'll certainly help keep Aaron Rodgers upright. You have a pretty pedestrian offense right now, but Washington. Now, granted, the last couple of weeks have been much better, but doesn't have no one quakes in terror at the prospect of facing Washington's defense, right? So, you know, this is exactly the kind of defensive organization that could make the Packers' offense look reasonably well. And the Packers have a good defense.
Well, are they going to be able to confuse Cousins? I mean, who would have thought Kirk Cousins, for Christ's sake?
Well, he's playing pretty good football right now.
Playing great football, just like Bruce. Aaron was your playoff quarterback.
Yep.
Cousins was my playoff quarterback in some of my leagues, and he helped me a lot. So,
lucky you.
He's been doing very well, and I think that you know, he is definitely a young player who hasn't a lot of experience, first playoff appearance. And Dom Capers is a very competent defensive coordinator, and I'm sure he's worked all sorts of confusing looks that are going to make it difficult for him. It's just going to depend on whether we have all of our players available, and excuse me, and are able to play strong defense and keep their Washington from scoring a lot of points. They've scored a lot of points recently, and if we can keep them down in the low to mid 20s, it's not out of the question that the Packers could put up, you know, mid to upper 20s and win the game. But as I said, my gut tells me that they probably aren't going to win, but I think that there's a reasonably good chance that they could win. Where, I mean, honestly, if they were playing, if I know this couldn't happen because of they were playing, if they'd wound up playing Seattle, I'd be a lot less confident.
Yeah. So let's talk about that game for just a couple of seconds here. We're running out of time. Seattle Vikings, that's going to be outdoors. Like I say, the wind chill is going to be bad. I thought I read that Marshawn Lynch, I thought he was going to be in, then I saw he was ruled out. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that.
Last I heard, he's ruled out.
Yeah.
And I think that's going to be pretty key, because I mean it's going to be bloody cold up in Minnesota. I mean, really, really cold. And so it's going to be hard for either of the quarterbacks, Bridgewater or Wilson, to do a lot of airing the ball out. So it's going to be a running game, a power running game. And normally Marshawn Lynch would give Seattle at least an even up on that one. But if he's not playing, I mean, Adrian Peterson is Adrian Peterson. And,
yeah, but he's a little nicked up too, isn't he? I mean, I thought I read that he was he had like a hamstring or something.
I mean, the thing is with Seattle is they are playing much better.
Yeah.
Of course, they're not going in on a 10-game winning streak.
Yeah.
But they have been playing much better, and they completely destroyed Minnesota back in December. I think it was 38-7. You know.
Right.
And they're starting to find their way, and that's what wins playoff games, man. I don't have a lot of confidence in Teddy Bridgewater. I just don't.
Yeah, I think it's going to be Seattle.
Yeah, I would agree. Although again, I think the fact that Marshawn Lynch is out, and it's in Minnesota in absolutely brutally frigid weather, at least gives Minnesota a puncher's chance in that game. Although, again, my gut tells me that we're going to see Seattle prevail in that game.
Do you think they go all the way again? Seattle? Who comes out of the NFC, do you think?
Whew, that's a tough one. I mean, I would have, before the game against Seattle last week, I would have said Arizona, especially the way they pounded the Packers the week before that. But I don't know. Arizona may have been giving Seattle a very vanilla look, both on offense and defense, to not knowing that they could play them later on.
Yeah, not tip their hand, huh?
Well, I got to tell you, I think if Washington beats Green Bay,
right.
I'm not saying they're going to go all the way, but they're going to gain some confidence and some steam. I don't know. I just don't know what. I just can't wait to see a Super Bowl to see if they use the word Redskins. To me, that would be the greatest
That's a good
thing.
one. That's a good one.
All right, Joe. Hey, Joe, thanks for taking the time with us. We really appreciate it.
Hey, my pleasure.
All right, thanks.
Have
Take
a
care.
good weekend, guys.
Yeah.
All right, Joe. Thanks. Enjoy the games today.
Thanks, man. Bye.
All right, we're almost out of time here at Glory Day Show. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we will wrap up for the weekend. Stay with us. Watch the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco only on the Inravio TV network. Coming right back.
The world of advertising has changed. Radio, TV, and newspaper revenues have declined drastically. Why? Because businesses have realized that advertising return on investment isn't what it used to be. So what can we do about it? Well, that's easy. Advertise online. Own a local restaurant, real estate agency, or even a national retail chain? Whatever your business, Inravio can get your message out there, and we can do it at a fraction of the cost. Call today and see the difference for yourself. This isn't TV. This isn't radio. This is Inravio.com.
This is Joe Larson, host of the 505 on Racing Show here at Inravio.com. From my family to your family, happy holidays to you and yours this holiday season.
For over 60 years, Hanson Carpet has put the customer first, providing only the finest quality products and service. And Hanson Carpet is so much more than just carpet. We also carry a wide selection of window blinds and shades, and our licensed and insured technicians can service any of your flooring or window covering needs. Browse our huge selection of laminate, carpet, linoleum, vinyl, and tile. Stop by our showroom today or visit HansonCarpet.com. No matter what your project, Hanson Carpet has got you covered.
Hey, this is Chris and Jake, and if Inravio.com spots you at an event wearing this bracelet, they will give you $100.
Village Music Shop in Mastic has everything you need to give the gift of music this holiday season. Electric guitar packages with a guitar, amp, bag, and strap for only $129. Acoustic guitar packages as low as $79. Full-size 5-piece drum set package starting at $299. And all holiday packages come with 2 free private lessons. Gift cards available. Village Music Shop of Mastic. The best prices and personalized service for over 45 years. Call 1-800-HEY-DUDE and visit villagemusicshop.com.
Welcome back to the Glory Day Show with Bruce and Disco here on the Inravio TV network. So what did we learn today?
Well, I'll tell you, the thing that I learned, and I guess I wasn't thinking about it, is that this Kansas City Chiefs-Houston Texan game has a different complexity to it because of the fact that the Royals did take care of the Astros in the baseball playoffs. And I guess not being from around there, I didn't think about that too much, but I think there's some pretty high stakes in this game.
Yeah, if you're, you really want, everybody now all of a sudden hates Kansas City. Last year Kansas City was the darling of everyone, and now this year everyone's going to be looking to beat their ass.
And I think I told you that the company I work for is headquartered in Kansas City.
Yeah.
And guess where I'm going this week?
Are you going there?
I'm going to Kansas City. Oh my God.
Kansas City, here I come.
Yeah, right. I think I'll be wearing I would wear my Met jersey, but all it's going to do is create a lot of problems for me if I do that, And they'll all be just saying, and it's true, the Royals beat the Mets, so.
Yeah, and you know what? There's nothing you could say about it.
No, exactly right.
Have
It's kind of like the Mets and the Yankees.
Right,
man,
you just have to kind of go with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so let's review. For everybody who takes whatever we say seriously, because I don't know why you would do that. Okay, Chiefs and Texans, who wins?
Chiefs and Texans, I'm going with the Chiefs.
All righty, I am going to go with the Texans because I just don't like Kansas City. Steelers and the Bengals. I think you said you were going to go with the Steelers.
I'm going with the Steelers.
I'm going with the Bengals, so two different ones here. Seahawks and Vikings?
I'm going with Seattle on that one.
Me too. And the Packers and Washington?
You know, because my sentimental favorite being, Aaron Rodgers, I was gonna go with Green Bay, but after talking to Joe today, I think I gotta go with Washington. I really do.
Listen, Washington, how could they not win? They have fans having sex in their stands.
And
at home games.
They're playing with house money. They really are,
All righty, we're going to get out of here. Thanks to
right.
our producers, Eric Mikhailov and Bonnie Schultz, for all their hard work, making us look so good out there. Thanks to our correspondents this week, Mark Hogan, Joe Battaglia, and Trey Looney. You could read Mark's baseball stuff later this week when the new NL Central discussion website launches. And Joe will also be contributing to that site as well, but you could also read his stuff on Around the Horn Talk. And why not send a friend request to Trey Looney on Facebook, especially if you live in the Houston area? All right. Thanks again, Chuck and Bonnie, for putting up for this nonsense week after week and for sticking with us for these past 4 years, allowing us to bring you this type of quality programming.
Enough said.
Thanks, of course, to you guys, our loyal viewers. And don't forget, you can check out Glory Days on the on-demand page of www.inravio.com. You can watch any of our past shows or any other great shows on the Inravio TV network. Enjoy your NFL Wild Card weekend. Thanks for watching. Stay safe, and we will see you next time.